Just about. It takes it a minute.
Move a little bit.
I'll scoot in.
Gotta get cozy.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get cozy here, guys.
All right.
I'll be in the back, just my fur. It's not real fur, by the way.
So this is behind the scenes. If we're already live on some of these platforms.
Oh, we
Okay,
are.
we're on Facebook, so I think we're live. So, all right, we are live.
All right.
Hey guys.
Hey,
I'm
guys.
here with the my Xero Crew here in Houston. Introduce yourselves, guys.
Hi, my name is Jacqueline Velez. I'm the Senior Account Manager for Xero in Houston. I'm also much more than that, actually.
She's a real person, guys.
I'm a real person underneath
With
that
feelings.
title, with feelings and goals and aspirations and traumas and stories and stuff.
And I'm Daniel Gallagher. I'm the partner consultant out here in Houston.
Are you a real person too?
No, he's not.
Are you a real
I didn't
boy?
want to go there.
Are you
Yeah.
Are you
a real boy?
A real boy.
Technically, yes. Technically.
He's a robot, actually.
Oh.
He could do the monotone very well.
I
as well.
can.
So we're out here at the We Work in Houston.
Near the
just
Galleria.
hanging out in the Galleria, and I thought we'd go live. You know, we're filming a couple of promotional videos for the road show, which I'm
Mhm.
excited about. At least the Houston road show. The rest of them, I think you should go to if you're in those cities. But if you're in Houston, you should definitely come to ours.
Yeah, we have some in most major cities, but in Houston, since it's so massive and there's so many suburbs, we decided to do one in Clear Lake, the Woodlands, and then one in the River Oaks area, so central Houston. But we were talking about how accountants. I made a short video on YouTube that nobody looked at about how when I was an accountant, how I would never want to go to a networking event because my job was to do accounting, not go network. And for me, what I've learned is you can really leverage off of what other people have already learned, and this type of event is really useful for that. And then to also, in some ways, kind of be forced to sit down and look at a demo, because a lot of times we say, oh, I want to check this software out, or at least me. Jose and Daniel are actually weirdos and we'll go try things out, but I'll say, oh, I want to try this out, but then I never get to it. So if you go to an event like this, for me at least, being able to sit down and see the best way to use the product is a really good way to do it. We'll have Practice Ignition doing a demo, and if you're not familiar with them, they do engagement letters, and they integrate with Xero Practice Manager, which a lot of people don't know that we have. Xero Practice Manager is for time and billing and the internal workflow of the firm. I'm tired of talking. Does anybody want to start talking?
Yeah, the roadshow is a really unique opportunity just to get everybody in the community, specifically in Houston, together. We've got people like Jose who have been using it for a while. We've got people that are brand new to it that maybe haven't even heard about Xero quite yet. It's a great opportunity just to start to pick people's brains, see what's working, see what's out there, see what's possible.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, for me, it's been about just one, getting to hang out with people I know. You know, like so I'll call her out because she liked us on LinkedIn. Trinity, my friend Trinity over at T3 Bookkeeping. I mean, she's awesome. She was what Bronze Partner of the Year.
And she drives out from wherever she is, New Braunfels or something.
Nacogdoches, New Braunfels, somewhere around there, and so, which is awesome, you know. And that's the time I get to hang out with her. You know, is to kind of catch up with her and everything, and it's a good opportunity because I've made some really good friends and actual friends, not just colleagues. It's like, hey guys, how do you do a debit?
Yeah, yeah.
My pocket protector. You
We
know?
were just talking about this before about how we both are pretty passionate about how your work is your work, but it's really your life. You know, we try to separate the two. We try to compartmentalize, but
Yep.
I think I've tried to do that. And it's really toxic. I'm not being myself either at work or in my personal life, and I'm just not showing up. And then I think you have to be your full self as much as you can be. And luckily, I'm not that much of a jerk, so I can be myself most of the time, I think. And also maybe if you are a jerk, you'll be less of a jerk because you can actually express yourself better. I don't know where this is going, but
yeah, I don't know.
what I'm trying to say is that your work and your personal life aren't separate, and that you just create friction by trying to compartmentalize and trying to pretend like they don't impact each other, because they do. We were just talking about this earlier. That's why I bring this up. But
So You lost me. I'm not even gonna.
So I'm talking about how your work life. The reason why I brought that up is because you said you met personal friends, and your work life is part of your life because you spend most of your time at work, and so especially if you're an accountant, your work life can be pretty miserable if you let it be. And so that's part of what I think can be changed when you go onto a platform like Xero, what you can learn about when you go to a road show. And it's part of most of the reason why I think we do what we do is like to really start living your work life like in a better way that's going to help you with your personal life as well.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, when I go to these events, I always like to, I find the top 3 things that I'm having trouble with. So what is it that's just frustrating the crap out of me that I'm just like, I don't know what to do? Last road show, it was sales tax. I was having trouble with sales tax. And so what did I do? I picked a couple of people's brains. Shout out to Jay Kimmelman for the helping us out, and I figured out a solution to work, and that helped us. Another one was I was having trouble with a specific app partner that I needed something to do, and so they were actually at the roadshow, so I got the chance to go and talk to them, and he walked me through step by step on how to do it. So, it's just kind of the same thing of why go to these conferences, why go to things like that. I mean, the roadshow is just a mini conference here locally that you guys are putting on, and there are going to be a couple of these app partners there, and the big thing is leveraging the community. Is like I said, you have a problem with something, bring it. You're gonna have Daniel there, you're gonna have me there, you're gonna have other people there that can answer those questions for you, or other colleagues, because I can guarantee you someone's been through it, and we have a solution. Is it the right solution? Maybe not, because I've had to finagle some things on my end as well.
But it took you down the road,
But I can at least guide in the right direction of where you need to go, so you don't have to spend. You're having inventory problems. Okay. I don't deal with anybody with inventory, but I know there's a couple people that do, and they get top 2-3 apps that they've used that instead of going down the rabbit hole of, I know that's what we do, 6, 7, 10, 15, and we start talking about these other ones. You can at least hone it down to 2 or 3, and then that way you can focus your energy on them and see which one's going to work for you and your client.
Yeah.
So, what are your top 3 for this roadshow?
That's a good question.
Putting you on the spot.
There you are, man. I don't like this.
Live, I like it.
On my channels too. How you gonna do me like that? So my top 3, I've been thinking about it. One of the things is gonna be it's more technical on the practice management side. So our practice management software we use is amazing, but just kind of more key metrics.
Gotcha.
What am I tracking the right things? Am I tracking the right things? And I'm not. So we, I got to call Morgan out here a little bit. She's awesome, but she wants us to, she's like, we should be tracking our time and everything. And I'm like, no, I refuse to ever track billable to hours ever again. And so we're trying to find other metrics to measure stuff by. And so that's going to be one of the things that I need to know. Turnaround time is what I've heard about a lot. We've been kind of tracking it, but at the same time, I need to make sure that.
But it's still your time. It's still time based in a way.
So I'm trying to figure out how can we move away from that, 100%. Cheryl Bergmeyer brags about she doesn't use time entry and she hates it, and so I'm gonna kind of pick her brain a little bit and see if I can. So
I mean, but that's your cost, so it's kind of difficult to get out of that. I guess you could just. I don't know, how would you track productivity if you don't track their time, if that's...
And that's where a lot of these maybe that's the question. If I can find somebody that's doing it, because there are firms out there that, and maybe it won't get solved at the roadshow, but you'll get... Maybe that's something I could, but then the conversation starts, and then maybe somebody else does it, and then we can start kind of, okay, well then how are we doing this? How are we, and then have those conversations outside of the roadshow. Because I mean, I'll tell you this, Mickey Williams, Mickey's awesome. And if you're watching this, Mickey, shout out. Me and him talk probably once or twice a week on the phone. Yeah,
that's great.
Just hey, what's working for you? What works for me and everything. And so that's kind of what works for me, and stuff like that. So maybe if I can't answer that question at the roadshow, that's something I know for a fact at ZeroCon, somebody's gonna know.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna know over there.
That's interesting though, because it's kind of an evolving space. What are the metrics, right? Especially as firms start to move into monthly services, kind of like software. Should we be measuring ourselves as firms similar to what software companies do, right? So it's super interesting. I'm still so curious about the time stuff though.
And how do you see how profitable?
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's tough, and I know there's a lot of conversation about this. But how would you figure out if this is a good client? Like, are you spending too much time on them? Should we raise their price if you're not tracking how long it takes to do the work? It's really an honor system. I can tell you, I wasn't always honest when I put my time.
I'll tell you, I mean, I did. I had to work 8 hours, and I worked 8 hours.
Right.
Regardless of what I got done, I worked 8 hours. You know.
And you take some time from this part. You take some.
I mean, I would
there.
No.
I would eat time.
Well, a lot of people eat time because they don't want to look like they're not working efficiently.
No, I never did.
I used to eat time as a staff.
What?
Yes.
How could you? How could you not be 100% honest?
Are you being sarcastic?
Yeah,
well, I used to eat time because I was insecure. Because I was like, oh crap, this is taking me a long time.
I got yelled at every time I went over.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't want to go over. And then if I did go over, I'd have to justify it. And I'm like, yeah, because I was like farting around on Excel. You know, like I didn't know what I was doing. I needed training, and I didn't ask for it. So yeah, like.
I want to move away from that. And I've seen people doing it, and so that's gonna be my main thing. The other one, and I'm glad you brought this up, has got the wheels turning down. Second thing is. We're just implementing Infusionsoft into our practice, and so I see Jay uses it a lot. Now he's not going to be in town, so I can't pick his brain, but Ephraim uses it, and so I'm going to kind of see if I can corner him. And so if you're watching this, bro, like, sorry, I'm going to pick your brain a little bit on that, you know. But it's just he created a landing page that I like, you know, with some information he had, and I was like, man, I like this, and that's kind of what got me going on there, you know, and just trying to figure out what works on that aspect of it, the sales side, you know, 'cause that's something that I really want to talk about. I mean, and I'll be honest with you, a lot of people have come to me and be like, hey, what's it like outsourcing? You know, I had a phone call today with somebody that just like asking me questions. Well, you're working with TOA. What's that like? What's this? You know, and I'll be honest and upfront. I mean, if there's something I don't like, I'll tell you. If there's something I like, I'll tell you. Yeah. So far, it's been a great experience.
Some of the larger firms are finally starting to come around on that too in Houston, which took a bit.
And so it's just for me, it's that's what these. That's for me. That's what I get out of these, because I use the product. You know, I have. You know, you shown it to me already several times, and. You know, if you're new and you're coming out, then I think it's a great opportunity to see what it's about. For those that, you know, you don't have the time, you know, this, you can cut out a little bit of time here, but it's also, again, to talk to colleagues and come with a problem and just strike up a conversation. I mean, so far everybody that's there is always really open, and nobody ever hoards information. Yeah. You know, they're not like, oh, well, no, I'm not going to share that with you. They're just kind of, I feel like that's the old way. That defeats the whole purpose of these networking events, you know, and everybody, at least in this community, has been really, really great with me, and so that's something I try to kind of pay it forward as well. Yeah, there's plenty of people that need accountants in Houston. So plenty of work. Yeah, there's plenty of work to be done. It's just more about getting it done efficiently. So we actually, you know, initially people ask us about, like, is there competition? And I'm like, there's no, that doesn't even, we're stronger together, and there's more than enough work to do. Yep. It's just about doing it in the best way. Oh yeah, I mean 100%. I work with a couple competitors where we share business together. Yep. You know, or they'll refer me work if they can't do it, or I'll refer them work if it's something out of my scope, and it's just kind of back and forth. I mean, and it helps you also narrow down, because if you want to actually like not be so diverse and have a scope, then you can say, okay, these are the clients I focus on. You have a network. You give the other ones, the ones that aren't in that scope, out. Then you get referred in. So. Yeah, no, 100%. You know, and it works out for me. You know, because I may lose that client, or a client, you know, needs something. I'll refer them out to someone that specializes in that. But it's like at the end of the day, the client's happy, and that's what's important. So when they think about it, that person solved the problem, but I'm the one that got that solution in front of them. So I'm the trusted at that point. I'm the trusted advisor. I'm the one that they can count on me. Yeah. To take care of something. So when something else comes up, or their buddy comes up, and you know they have a different problem, hey, Jose will take care of you. You know, I'm not gonna just prepare a tax return. It's not just that, you know. So it's worked out for me, and it's these relationships I'm building has been amazing, because it's been just kind of growing again. Your net. What did they say that your network is your net worth? I hear that all the time. So.
Yep.
Well, also I think like there's an energy too. Like I know, like I've made jokes about Xero. I was like, are we in a cult? Like, because there's just people that are so like huge fans of it that it's just for me, you know, I didn't know that technology was disrupting accounting. I was in Houston, and you know, you have a really interesting story that you're going to share at the roadshow. I don't want to take the cat out of the bag,
Yeah.
but you know, people are doing things in a really antiquated way, and I was, including me, at really large companies when I worked in industry, and I didn't see that disruption happening here. And then I saw Xero, and I was like, this is the cool accountants, and there's hope, and there's a different way to work, and this is why I went into accounting, because I wanted to help people, not because I want to scream at people for audit findings or giving me a document. Yeah, but I just think that the energy, you know, is unmatched. You've been to XeroCon. It's just you just leave. There's so many people that are so inspiring and motivating, and so many opportunities, and like you just, I feel like I get re-energized myself, and I'm like, I want to start an accounting firm, and I'm not, maybe I don't know, we'll see how good the energy is at this roadshow. But yeah, just the energy and motivation of Xero as a brand is just, it's unheard of, and cult-like or not, it's beneficial.
It kind of is kind of like
it's like a
cult.
cult.
I was thinking about that because I was talking with, we were talking with,
What's
I was at Accountex, yeah. I was at Accountex, and I was talking to Matt May over at Acuity, you know, big firm, and him and Akinji. We were talking, and one, I got to meet them, which was awesome, you know. But then we just started talking, and it was just like, you know, anywhere you go, it's like kind of like I equate it to kind of similar, like if you graduate from Texas A&M. It's like you tell somebody you're an Aggie, you're instant like, oh yeah, you know, like, we're friends, and you tell someone, you know, in our little world, it's like, oh, I'm using Xero. Oh, me too. And it's just all of a sudden you're best friends, and I think to me it's hilarious.
Yeah, but you know what's funny about what I just realized now is like we've talked so little about the actual Xero product, which is really funny. Like, because people love using Xero because it's like user friendly, it's beautiful, it's intuitive, but we forget. Well, I mean, I don't forget. I just feel like it's so much bigger than that I just don't talk about it. But it's funny because people have told me like it's actually fun to use, and I found that too.
Yeah, I've heard that quite a bit actually. That it's enjoyable to use, and it's super easy to sell people. I mean, we don't have to sell; we just show them the product, and it sells itself.
Exactly. That's why we don't really talk about it.
Well, I mean, my staff prefers it. You know,
Yeah.
my staff 100% tell me like when I bring on a new client that's in QBO or another system, another software, they're just like, oh. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I to me, it's all the same. You know, I can use them both, and I've used them enough to where it's like,
It was a
I'm not
penny.
a
I can't get over it.
yeah, but I mean, I do get that. I get a little bit of a, not a kickback, but like all right, here we go. You know, which is fine. I mean, yeah, it's a software and it spits out the numbers, but it just, for me, I prefer it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's a conversation I have with a lot of new clients as well. Is when I'm talking to them, it's like, so, what do you use? You know, so because I mean, this is something that you know, and another shout out. I just shout everybody. I'm just gonna go through this to start shouting people out. But you know, on the podcast,
not winning an Oscar or anything. I'd like to thank my family.
By the way, November 13th is my birthday. So,
that's my niece's birthday. That's so weird.
So I expect a cake at the roadshow.
Well, I gotta go to my niece's party too, so.
Just during the roadshow, in the middle of the demo, just take a break, and I want you guys to sing me happy birthday.
Okay, I'm gonna be like Steve Aoki and throw cake, like the audience. Doesn't he throw cake? It's Friday. I'm sorry, I get weird.
Wow, so this is your Houston team, guys, right here.
Don't worry, we have another account manager who's a little bit more normal than me, so you'll get some good balance.
So, I don't know, I lost my train of thought. I just wanted to shout that out. So
you were talking about you were going to shout out somebody, then you shout out yourself.
Will Lopez, the head of partner development at Gusto. You know, he brought up a good point. Is it's not a value add and this was on the podcast we did, it's not a value add to work the same system your client does. We're the experts. We're the ones that need to show them what's the best system to use in order to, to provide them the best service and so that they understand, because they'll say, oh, well, we use QuickBooks Desktop, or we use Sage, or we use this, or we use that. Okay, if like we personally prefer Xero. I mean, that's just a personal preference we have, So if somebody tells us, oh, we use this, the first conversation we have is, well, let me show you this other software, and this is why we enjoy it. Now, if they prefer, they're hell-bent on staying, okay, then, if we like the client, we're gonna do it. But if they're just like, no, this is what I want to use, and they don't want to listen, and they're just set on their ways, and maybe it's not a good fit.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not a good fit. But that just really, I don't know why, but that really stuck out to me.
That's actually really strong because...
That stuck out to me.
Yeah, I'm going to use that. That's really good because he's saying, like, you're actually doing a disservice by basically going with what they use. Yeah,
and I mean, the client could, and now that's not to say that the client doesn't know what they're talking about at all. But if there's a better way to do it, if they're saying, hey, we use an Excel spreadsheet for our financials, and that's what they use, and that's what they want to use, and it's it's like, guys, there's an easier way to help you, and that's kind of the conversations we need to be having. So, that really stuck out to me when he said that. I remember sitting there and I was just like, we were at the Latino Tax Pro.
Yep.
At the Latino Tax Fest, and I was just like, oh.
Are you coming to Latino Tax? By the way, I meant to ask you this earlier, so I'm just going to ask you on camera.
The fest?
Yeah, the one in Houston. Okay, so I want to make sure.
Yeah.
I hadn't asked you.
The regional seminar, yes.
Yeah.
So my brother-in-law's getting married, so I'm going to have to leave early, but I will be.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure that we talked about it, so I wanted to have it on camera.
Okay. Yeah, again, put me on the spot. So Tony, if you're watching this, I am going. If I decided not to, it doesn't matter anymore. So I'm just playing. Yeah, I'll be there. I'm excited. I've been actually...
Daniel, you going? No, it's okay. I don't need you.
I've been talking with...
We killed it last year. That was awesome. Yeah, sorry.
I'm going to be out of town, so...
Where are you going?
Places.
Secrets.
Super secret.
Secret
places. Are you getting married again?
No.
Okay.
I'm still married.
You could have a renewal of vows after 6 months.
It hasn't been that long, yeah.
All right, well then it's Friday.
Done, yeah.
Daniel needs to get home to his wife. I don't want your wife to kick my butt.
Stay night.
You here? Yeah. And
my dog's waiting on me. So.
Yeah, and I gotta go return some dresses. So.
All right.
My wife's dresses, not mine. I want to make that perfectly clear. So.
Good thing you clarified.